Hello everyone, Old Guy Gaming here, and it's time we have a little bit of a chat. So this video is going to be titled something along the lines of what's going on with the stream, or what's going on with the channel, something along those lines. And I kind of want to give everyone a brief update on what I've been doing, why I have not been recording videos recently, why I've not been really playing much of any Magic or anything else like that recently, and a bit of a shift in paradigm for where the channel is going to be moving forward. So for those of you that only like the short versions, I'm going to give you the real quick rundown real quick. First of all, I'm happy and healthy. Everything is fine. I got a little bit blue towards Thanksgiving here in the US because I wasn't able to have any of my friends or family over, which is kind of that time of year that you're supposed to be able to do that, and kind of all of that COVID stuff kind of really started to kind of wash over me as far as the world that we live in today, and it didn't really motivate me to wanting to do pretty much of anything as far as recording videos is concerned. It then moved into, as I was reflecting on the 2 years that I've been doing MTG Arena content, did I really want to keep doing it? And the short answer came out to no. In short, it was a decision that I came to saying that I'm not walking away from Magic, first of all. For those of you that are like panicking, I'm not walking away from Magic in its entirety. I'm still going to play. I still have all my stuff. I mean, I'm still a geek. I'm still going to continue to play Magic. I just don't know how much I'm going to be recording videos or streaming content moving forward for the time being anyway. Ultimately, Anna had a conversation with a lot of good friends, folks that I play D&D with, and was basically like I don't know what I'm going to do. Like I've built this channel up for 2 years strictly on MTG content. However, the title of the channel was really Old Guy Gaming. The gimmick to it was supposed to be it was an older guy playing games. I just happened to attach myself to MTG Arena because it happened to come out right around the same time that I wanted to do the channel, which I thought was cool. But there are other things creatively that I want to be able to expand into, and I feel like I've kind of put myself into a corner when it comes down to that specific content of only doing MTG content. So I came out of New Year's with a New Year's resolution, which was I was going to be shifting the channel into a bit of a different direction with a few more Let's Plays as opposed to just all MTG content all the time. So that's the short version for those of you that don't like to stick around for the first couple of minutes. Long story short, I'm going to be getting back to recording today. We have a little bit new setup in the studio. I have a brand new PC. I'll put a little bit of B-roll footage in here for you to kind of take a look. I actually built a new PC, which we'll get into the reasons why I haven't streamed ever, was due to some limitations on the old computer, but now we have fixed that. But anyway, all right, so that's all the short version stuff. All you're here is for the short version. The short version is I'm fine, I'm happy, I'm healthy. I'm getting back to recording videos and creating content. You will start seeing stuff starting this week. It's not all going to be MTG Arena content anymore. I am going to be expanding out into Let's Plays from other games. I'm going to be starting off with a game that I love called Alien Isolation, and I'll be streaming that, and I'll be recording that and posting those in videos on YouTube, and I'm going to continue down the line with some cool older games that I just haven't played in a long time, and I'm really looking forward to actually playing and just doing it on stream. MTG Arena is not going anywhere. It's just getting pushed to a back burner for a little bit, because I've gotten a little bit bored with it. So that's the short version. Long version, for those who stick around and actually kind of interested, this is the talking head piece if you just want to stick around for all of this. So yeah, basically, I started really starting to get a little bit down towards November. This COVID thing, this lockdown thing has really started to affect me. And by nature, I've always been kind of a homebody. So I've gotten into, dad mode kind of thing. I wasn't always that way. I was usually very outgoing, but as, we have 4 children, and as more kids have been home, my time's been required to be here, so that I'm giving my wife some relief from the insanity that is our household. So over the years, I've kind of spent a lot more time at home than I normally would have in my younger years. Now, I still force myself to go out once a week, and I do say that sometimes literally. There are definitely times that I just didn't want to go to the game store on Tuesday to either play Magic or either play X-Wing or 40K or whatever the game of the time was for me on my ebbs and flows of what I like and what I don't like at the moment. But I had a regular thing that forced me to go kind of out of the house every Tuesday for that. And all of that got taken away. And like everyone else who's dealing with COVID and the lockdowns and not really being able to go places, like there are so many things that have been kind of taken away that's really just started to take its toll. I didn't I felt you feel that weird awkwardness of trying to work from home, and as a developer, I've always made the joke I can be working on a beach somewhere as long as I have a laptop and an internet connection. I can do my job anywhere. I'm gonna wait for the dogs to stop. Sorry, stoppage for the dogs. That's never going to change on this channel. It just isn't. So yeah, I've always made that joke that I could, if as long as I had a laptop and internet connection, I could do my job from anywhere. And that really got tested during the last 10 months. Not only with, the dogs wanting to go in and out and having, the mailman go by, and then it's 5 dogs barking all at once at the one mailman that they're never ever going to get, or the challenges of having 4 children who are all at home going to school online, running back and forth in and out of the kitchen because this one's on break so they're getting a snack, or that one's doing this. It's just started to take its toll. So by the time November rolled around, Thanksgiving here in the US rolls around, and not being able to have my friends and family over for the holiday really just kind of like kicked me in the teeth kind of thing. And I got down, and I got really down, but for a brief period of time, it was weird doing the holidays over Zoom and Discord, but we did what we had to do in these times. But it made me do a lot of reflecting on what I'm doing with the channel. So the idea of the channel, of course, as I previously mentioned, I have 4 kids who all have favorite YouTubers, and ultimately and eventually one of them is going to come to me and say, hey, I want to do a YouTube channel. And I wanted to know more about it. I wanted to know more about the content creation side of it, how to upload videos. So when they came to me with questions on how to do something, that I had an answer for that. The channel just kind of came from that. The reason why I chose the name that I chose is because, well, I am in my 40s, so I am older than most people who are in the gaming demographic. And I sort of thought it was going to be kind of an interesting little niche to be in there, because there's a lot of other guys out there and girls like me who are in that age group who have always been gamers, and we're looking at you young folks that are like, this is a new thing for you, think gaming's cool. We've always thought gaming was cool. And that was kind of the target audience that I was really kind of shooting for, was for all those people that were kind of in that same group as me. It just so happened that as I was getting the channel ready to go up and running, Wizards got back to me for my closed beta for MTG Arena, and I said, okay, this is a good place to start. It's going to be a new game. I'll start playing that. I honestly thought that MTG Arena was going to take up 25% of my time on the channel content, but I liked it. And especially whenever COVID rolled around, it became so much easier to just be able to play Magic, the game that I love, from home and not have to put my family or myself in any type of danger with COVID. So it kind of fit a niche for me for 2 years, but the ultimate goal was always to do more general gaming, general PC gaming, as opposed to just one game. So yeah, I sat down, I reflected on the channel, and the second half to that is I've just genuinely gotten bored, and this is probably from my own fault and my own design. The format that I chose for the MTG Arena videos was basically the same video. You literally get the same content every single video that I had done. Here's the deck, here's the cards that I used, here's 3 to 4 games of me playing the deck, thanks so much, subscribe, and that's it. Rinse and repeat. And I've often heard of content creators talking about the YouTube treadmill. I felt it. There were plenty of occasions where I was just like, I had to drag myself down and throw a deck together that I wasn't really super interested in, didn't really want to play. And especially as you start getting towards the tail end of one set and a new set's about to come out, you've played all the meta decks, you've done videos for those, you've done all the tier 1 and now tier 2 decks, and now you're down to what garbage can I throw together as a deck that sort of functions, and is that really content worth watching? And that's really what I struggled with for a long time, was like, how do I make something, even a weird theme deck that nobody would really put together to play unless it was for sheer fun? How do I make that interesting? And I struggled with that for a long time. So the short answer, of course, is I've gotten kind of bored of doing the same thing over and over again. I want to do something different. I want to expand out into other games. The first game that I intend to review, as I mentioned earlier, is a game that I love. I'm really looking forward to doing it. I've never played it on PC. I played it on PlayStation 4, but I'm looking forward to doing an Alien Isolation playthrough from beginning to end. And then I'm going to move on to some other older games to kind of continue to scratch that itch of the old guy gaming kind of thing. So I feel like that I covered a lot in that short period of time. I know this decision for those that are only tuning in for the MTG content, MTG Arena content. I get it. It's taken me a while. I'm very proud of what I did for something that I literally have chosen only to do as a hobby. I don't take the channel super seriously, but it was really kind of cool to hit that 1,000 subscribers. It was really kind of cool to hit that YouTube limit of you need 4,000 hours of content before you can get onto the partner program. And to be able to do that, like for example, this channel paid for itself in 2020. I bought packs during the course of the year to be able to make content. And thanks to all of you that have tuned in and watched, the channel came out as a net positive. Small, a few dollars left over, but it came out to a net positive for 2020, which was really a shock to me when I sat down and looked at it. I'm like, wow, I put X dollars into the channel and I got Y out of purely just AdSense, and that was it. That was amazing to me. That accomplished the goal that I wanted to do, and now I want to set a new goal of doing something completely different, which goes into the second part to this, which is the channel is going to be going to a format where I stream on whatever day that I can try to do it. I'm going to try to stream for like 2 or 3 hours on that day to record YouTube content for that. So you can, if you want to interact with me while I'm playing whatever game I'm playing, check out the Twitch channel because I will be live playing there. I will record that content and then break it up into pieces for YouTube. So you're still going to get it. You're still going to be able to, but if you really want that that personal interaction of getting the opportunity to talk to me while I'm playing a game, check out the Twitch channel. Otherwise, continue what you're doing and just watching the YouTube one, the YouTube channel. The problem came in, of course, the old PC that I have over here that you can't see on camera, but I'm pointing at, wasn't up to the task for doing that. I had talked many times about it. You know, a lot of folks had recommended, well, why don't you stream? Why aren't you streaming? Streaming is really where it is. And that PC was a monster when I built it 6 years ago. I'm gonna get a little bit techie here for those of you. It's gonna sound like computer techno babble for those of you that don't know what I'm saying. So I do apologize for that. But those that are a little bit in the know on computers, that is an old AMD RX 6-core, which at the time was a really good processor to run a computer off of. It had 16 gigs of RAM that over the time of the channel's lifespan I upgraded to 32 gigs of RAM. It had a 2 gig video card that I upgraded to a 4 gig video card over the course of the time. And it runs, and it still, even though it is an older PC on an older platform, it still runs a lot of those games. So it is a testament that that PC was built really, really well. Where it failed miserably was in 2 key categories. One was the video editing was a nightmare. Even as the simple amount of video editing that I would do for the YouTube channel, where I would just basically cut a couple, like the dogs bark, so I'll cut that out. That's going to happen in this video because they've already barked and I've had to take that out. Even just doing those simple edits and rendering would take a really long time. I'm talking like however long the video is, twice as long to render it, because that was really pushing that GTX video card to its limits as far as that was concerned. The second part to that was the CPU just did not have the oomph, did not have the processing power or the threads to be able to stream and record at the same time. It couldn't do it. We tried a lot of different ways and tried to get it to work. Tried a whole bunch of settings in OBS, and long story short, what it really boiled down to is the fact that the computer just couldn't hack it. It couldn't do it. Couple that with the fact that my oldest is in a video editing class right now in school. As I aforementioned before, all of my kids are working from home, so the kids that are our school district, I don't know how it is where you are, our school district went with a split platform, so you could choose to send your kids to school or you could choose not to send your kids to school, but they're both kind of running the same parallel course, and my kids log into a webcam of the actual class happening. So they're right there with all of their classmates. So the idea, of course, was that, hey, when COVID goes away in, December, it didn't happen. When COVID goes away in December, you can just send your kids right back to school and they're right back in the same line. They're just rejoining the stream and everything would have been fine. My point is that he's in this video editing class, and the kids have access to better computers. They have access to Adobe Premiere, a whole bunch of things. Like, part of the new setup here is I've got new lights. I'm able to turn the lights down in this room so that you don't get like this wash of white behind you. You just get me and my happy shiny face. We got him for Christmas a whole bunch of his video editing equipment that he was going to need. We also got him a subscription to Adobe Premiere, but to couple that, we needed to give it a machine that could actually do it. Because there is an outside chance that he might choose to do this as a career, and I used it as a... we had the ability to do so, so we chose to do it, which was build a new gaming and editing PC. So I'm going to rerun my B footage up here of this gaming editing PC, and again, this is going to sound like technobabble, but basically it's now running, it's running a Ryzen 7 3700X, 6 core, 16 threads. It's running 32 gigs of RAM at 3200 speed. It's running, and don't ask me how I got it, because there was some finagling to get it, but it is running an RTX 3070 overclocked edition. It's got all this pretty RGB, which you might see reflected in my, you might be able to see a little bit reflected in my glasses as I'm recording this. This computer's a beast. It's genuinely a beast. It's got a terabyte drive of M.2. I've got both Gen 3 and Gen 4 filled, so there's 2 terabytes of drive. This will survive not only streaming, because we've tested it, it will survive the video editing process. This will be a good computer to go run with for the next 2 to 4 years. Easy. So now that the technical limitations have been removed from streaming, I've elected to do it that way, because my son, who watches a lot of streamers and watches a lot of YouTube channel content, says, I don't understand why you don't stream and introduce a new revenue stream for the channel through Twitch, and then just cut the stream up for YouTube. So if you're not watching it on YouTube, someone can watch it on Steam or on Twitch, or the other way around. And he's right. So ultimately, and that's what we're going to be doing. So we're going to be shifting over to playing older games, new games. So if you've got a suggestion for a game, something you want to see, by all means, let me know. I'm starting with one of my beloved games, and I'll move on from there. So, yeah, I think that's kind of it. That hopefully that kind of catches everyone up. So you'll start seeing new videos pop up starting this week, maybe next week, depending on how the editing process goes, because I'm still toying around with Adobe Premiere because I've never played with it before. And again, I'm going to start streaming. Please catch me. There's a link in the description down below to the Twitch stream. By all means, take a look, follow, maybe just come by and say hello while you're there. I do appreciate it. I am happy. I am healthy. I am really looking forward to this new direction for the channel. And I'm not closing the door completely on MTG Arena content. I will probably go back to it. My loves ebb and flow when it comes to games. Right now, I'm more interested in Warhammer 40k than I am in Magic. Even though I can't play it, because I can't have people here, and I can't go to the game store and play. But that is where my main interests are right now, and Magic will come back. Magic comes back around for me every year. Every year, Magic comes back around. Something comes out. I'll still stay up to date. I'll still go and play. I just might not record that. I might not stream that. It's just going to be for my own personal play time. So I hope you understand. I hope what I genuinely believe is that most folks are tuning in for the personality for me, as opposed to necessarily what I'm playing. If not, I totally understand. But we'll see how this goes. So I do appreciate you guys tuning in. The next video you're going to see is going to be my first ever Let's Play streamed on Twitch. So be easy on me. I do appreciate it. So, all right, until next time, guys. This video was brought to you in no small part by our patrons. If you would like to help out the channel, go to www.patreon.com/oldguygamingmtga, and thank you for your support.